3 days ago. It was like any other day. He was running day and night to expand the organization and our operations when, without warning, the hideout was stormed. A massive explosion tore through the place, several members vanished without a trace, and the barricades we'd built were utterly destroyed. Big David, the boss of the Blood Fang, at first blamed a rival faction. Competitors threatened by the Blood Fang rapid rise around E Sector's black market, he thought, had carried out the terror. Despite the chaos, David's leadership was swift. Though many dismissed him as a musclehead, he was quite sharp-minded, having built a fledgling gang into a powerful force with hundreds under his command. David quickly quelled the confusion, directed his men, and managed to subdue the attacker. Surprisingly, there was only one culprit, a scrawny youth, barely 20 years old. "What the hell are you?" Big David grabbed the youth's hair in his huge hand and demanded. The youth, terrified, couldn't reply. "You going to answer?" "Kai Kim no, Shade Wells." Shade Wells? A name I'd never heard. "Why did you attack us? Who ordered it? The Oliver family? The cops?" "I'm sorry, please spare me." "Who sent you?" I acted alone solo no." "You planned this by yourself? What? Do you bear a grudge against us?" What? This isn't how it was supposed to go. It wasn't me." Shade shook his head and sobbed. David was dumbfounded. The same youth who'd laid waste to the hideout moments ago now whined like a coward. Please spare me! I must have lost my mind for a moment. I swear I won't ever slip up again." "What a freak!" David scoffed at Shade. "Please." Then his subordinate reported in. "Boss, this guy's module setup is weird." "What's wrong with it?" "He's got all kinds of odd modules equipped at once, including some mystic modules that conflict with each other normally that'd either cancel their effects or kill him." "Oh!" Big David appraised Shade with interest. The cold gaze sent fresh terror across Shade's battered face. "How is that even possible?" "I think it's because of this." The subordinate held out a tablet, showing a slow-rotating 3D blueprint of an unidentified module. "This module seems to regulate the compatibility of the others. We'll need more research, but..." "Any problems?" "Can we proceed aggressively?" "Aggressively, in other words, is it okay to kill him during the experiment?" Big David's answer was succinct. "Frizzy. This is impossible, mister." "Well, as..." Miu's face went pale as she watched the footage. She must have felt guilty she'd supplied the gang's weapons and made Shade inadaptive. "Is that the end of it?" I ended the video. Those before me nodded vigorously. Yes, that's all the footage we have. If it's not enough, we'll explain whatever we can." "Please spare me," sobbed. Kneeling before me were the Blood Fang assassins who'd come for me. 5 minutes ago they were full of bravado, but after a few demonstrations, they'd quickly quieted down. I'd accessed their cybernetic recordings and reviewed them with Miu. We faced the horrific truth. The protagonist, Shade Wells, was dead. What kind of monster is that? Rumors said he had an incurable disease. Now's our chance. The guy who can crush a level 2 exoskeleton with bare hands is sick. Come off it. My thigh feels like it's shattered. I think I'm dying. Same here. Aaron Stingray's known as a berserker. He'll kill us if we upset him. There was no time to mourn Shade. I'd briefly activated hacking modules to check for suspicious behavior. Seeing this, I deactivated them again. My illness made continual module use a burden. Still wary, I asked the kneeling men. "So what happened after the video ended?" "You answer." "You want me?" "Lie, and I'll make you end up looking just like that Shade fellow." I meant it. I hadn't crushed their heads only because Miu stood beside me couldn't traumatize the innocent girl. Just a little longer of patience and all would be resolved. Grinding these bastards into mince. Answer quickly. Well, that is to say. He explained that the Bloodfang engineers dissected Shade alive to study him. They wanted to discover how he could maintain such an abnormal module configuration. After gathering enough information, they swallowed up the numerous combat modules that Shade had been equipped with. The boss took a few modules he wanted first, then distributed the rest to his subordinates. Thanks to the impressive performance of some of them. His voice trailed off. In short, by seizing the modules that Shade had been wearing, they were able to massively boost their combat power. I see. Miu's face beside me went even paler. She staggered, and I caught her so she wouldn't fall. Are you all right? I'm sorry. If it's too much, you don't have to keep listening. No, I share some of the responsibility. Do as you please. Though I spoke with an air of bravado, in truth, I wasn't exactly in fine shape myself. My body felt weak, and above all, the direction pointed to by the information I had gathered so far was utterly shocking. Shade was possessed just like me. Of course, it was only a hypothesis, but given the circumstances, it was the only conclusion one could draw. Perhaps that was inevitable. The reason I became Aaron Stingray was because I placed first in the quiz event. In other words, if the people who ranked high behind me in the quiz event were invited to this world, it wouldn't be strange. But still, I couldn't help feeling irritated. What a fool! Whoever possessed Shade had clearly tried to rewrite the story to suit their tastes. He had sought out Miu earlier than in the original timeline to make her an adaptant, and before attacking Bloodfang's hideout, had prepared various combat modules in advance. Yet in the end, he died. The exact cause is unknown. Perhaps a simple mistake, or maybe he failed to fully harness Shade's talents. Yes, Shade Wells is a growth-type genius character. It's entirely plausible that the possessor couldn't unlock his body's full potential. Either way, it didn't matter. What mattered was, this is a headache. Because the guy died so spectacularly before the story even properly began, all my plans were blown to pieces. Now, there is no protagonist. This world must endure every trial without a main hero, and the characters must grow on their own to overcome the world's crisis without a protagonist. Countless villains and monsters will come one after another. When they threaten this city and humanity, there is no one to step forward and lead the fight. And what's more troublesome? There could be more possessors besides that guy and me. There's no telling how many possessors there are. But I can guarantee they'll try to twist the story to their own advantage rather than cooperate with me. In that process, there's no predicting how or where the original script might veer off course. My head throbbed. Time limit, protagonist staff, supporting cast growth. Possessors, world crisis, Stingray family. Corpse eaters, mysteries, point shout. Trinity Academy. A jumble of keywords rattled around my brain, colliding with each other as if scraping the walls of my blood vessels. Then, at some moment, I caught sight of Miu at the edge of my vision. Her face looked frightened, or perhaps regretful. A sudden flash of inspiration struck me. Yes, it's not too late yet. I began to see a direction. I can still fix this. I can do it. As the reader who understood this world more deeply than anyone, I can make it happen. The scattered plans began to take shape. There's no need to hesitate. Modular Miu. Why yes? why are you calling me? I think you want to ask me for something. And no, I mean, You want me to destroy every single one of the items they took, don't you? Miu's eyes went wide at my words, as if surprised that I'd read her mind. But to me, it was simple. I know how the character Miu would act in this situation. Miu is a fragile character. A girl who, due to past wounds, had shut herself away in her workshop and dealt only with machines instead of people. Yet she is not a fool, she merely lacked competence and turned away from the world in fear. She must have sensed Bloodfang's tendencies long ago, but chose to ignore them. Deceiving herself and turning away from reality was more comfortable at the time. With the credits and materials Bloodfang provided, she could research and craft things she couldn't before when selling only vending machine items. Say it clearly with your own mouth. But now, things have changed. Miu has faced reality. The reality of lives she saved vanishing because of the things she made. If you want to rectify the mistakes you've made so far, I'll help you. Her expression wavered. But her answer was already decided. Could I dare ask you for help, Aaron SSI? Very well. I nodded in response. But there's a condition. A condition. Become my exclusive modular. What do you mean by that? Just as it sounds, if you promise to create and manage modules according to my instructions from now on, I will help you. Yes? What does that? Miu looked perplexed. But for my future actions, it was necessary to limit her activities. Miu's skills are dangerous. She may not realize it herself, but some of her talents could twist New Valhalla City to its core. Originally, she would grow mentally through interactions with the protagonist and recognize the danger of her abilities, but that role vanished with the hero's death. I must fill that role instead. Moreover, another possessor might target Miyu. Better to take measures before they make a misstep. Not just Miyu. I must deal with them all. What the dead protagonist should have done. And what Eren Stingray, the villain, must do. Hero and villain. I will fulfill both roles. Perfectly, flawlessly. Last question, do you agree to the deal? I looked at Miyu once more and asked. She answered in a determined voice. I will. It's a deal. I nodded with satisfaction. Module mine, Cloud Spider. I reactivated one of the modules I had deactivated. At the same time, a black leather glove slid onto my hand. I clenched and unclenched my gloved fist. The sensation was strangely familiar. Probably thanks to Eren's memories. Surely, he was called Big David. Bloodfang's leader, Big David. He will pay. For killing my favorite. For wrecking all my plans. I know what you fear most, Big David. I'll start with you lot first. UAWH what? I spoke to the kneeling figures before me. Their faces turned to terror, but I paid them no mind.